Oh, hello everyone. Wonderful day for out in the morning. About 6:30, and the sun is completely out. I mean, this is it. It can get brighter than this, but this is the morning times I love. A little bit of gray, but it's light. I don't know, when I was a real little kid, I always loved rainy gray days. I didn't necessarily care for the rain or snow. That would often come with it. Because living in Utah, we get lots of gray days with no weather. It would just be gray. This lovely view of the alley behind Ocean Mart. Oh, we went during the day. Now everybody knows what it looks like now. You thank me in the comments if you're curious what was back there. I was walking. I'm trying to remember where it was I was walking in the morning. It was by Grounds for Coffee and Sunset, because I know they specialize in coffee. It was one of these places that serves breakfast with coffee with breakfast in the morning. And I smelt the coffee full blast. Let me tell you something. I hate coffee. I don't like it. I don't like the taste of it. But I love the smell, the aroma of coffee. Like, you won't catch me buying coffee and roasting it or having a pot of it on every day. Come on, while I'm young. You won't catch me, percolating a cup of coffee, a pot of coffee. Ooh, the steel plate, the Midgar plate. But I sure love the smell of it because I associate it. Now, I said this before in other videos, and this is a fact. Our sense of smell is very greatly tied to our memories. So that 7-Eleven is still there. Isn't that weird? I was under the impression they were going to tear it down. So they changed their plans. They decide they don't need to tear anything down from the Golden West up. Then why do they tear down the fucking Wells Fargo? Not that I care about Wells Fargo. It just seems to me that Utah goes and blows things up, destroys things first. I mean, obviously they have a game plan, but sometimes when you look at how and when they start things and then seem to abruptly quit things because, they don't have the budget. Then why the fuck did they start it if they don't have the fucking budget? I hear that excuse all the time. Oh, they had to postpone it because they didn't have the budget. And I'm sitting here like, okay, I don't work on the city council. I don't work in construction. But I was always taught, or I had heard growing up, that you don't go through with a transaction unless you have the funds to back it up. And I assume that this is doubly so in a work setting. So I think these are still cable or fiber optic. Maybe. Because they were doing that on my street a couple weeks ago. And I think they were laying, well, I don't know if they were laying them down on the sidewalk. I think it's just, dude, they left that fence up. Or maybe, that's the fence that was originally up with that old lady's house. They left it up. It's like so many of their UDOT's decisions. And I noticed the captions on YouTube for whenever I say UDOT, letter U hyphen dot, will say UDA, like I'm slurring my words or something, which kind of pisses me off. Oh look, free fucking shit. Actually, old people usually have cool stuff. What is that? There's a chair. Like the end of a sectional. A cat house. Or a cat tree or whatever. A cat climbing. It's too early in the morning. I'm in too good of a mood. I'm not really in a good mood. I want to be in a good mood. So I don't want to bitch about UDOT for like first thing in the morning. I tell you what though, I think it's going to be really gross. And I don't know who needs to hear it, but I think my intestinal tract and all that is working fairly well. I'm not a morning person, but I think my colon is a morning person. So I always try to go to the bathroom before I go to bed. And I wonder if they have like their spring junk pickup, and that's what all that is. So I saw that. I'm like, is that a chair? It's like the end of end of a sectional. And I'm like, who the... So now I've seen other people leaving their junk out, so that makes sense. Oh, look. Hitler ride. Oh, health ride. My parents had one of those back in the day. It got used once. If even that. I don't know anybody but my parents who would buy frivolous, and I call it frivolous because maybe it's not the exact direct definition. I guess I could say spurious, or I could say spontaneous. But they would go and spend money on each other. Is that a UTA bus over there? Oh, no, I think that's a diesel truck. He would buy her so many things that went unused. I remember one Christmas over 20 years ago, he got her this heating pad set that you could sit on and also pull. I have like built-in feet covers like socks to keep your back and your, which I figure that's something she could use today, my mom. And she put it up for sale years ago. Remember that one guy, Tony something? He was a fitness freak. I can't remember his last name. But he had a show called, and not Tony Danza, this other Tony guy. He looks like he's bigger than Tony Danza, like muscular. And I think he had his own show where he was like a babysitter or like a Big Brother or something like that. I think the title was like Big Brother or something like that, or I don't know, maybe it was called Tony. And that's what he was popular for back then, like the 90s, was like these workout tapes and machines. And I don't know what happened to him today. I have no fucking clue. But I think he had like an Italian last name. No, again, it's not Tony Danza. His name is Tony, but he does not look like Tony Danza. He's bigger. Looks like he might have been on steroids. They had, I don't know what you would call it, like a ski machine? A weird elliptical ski machine? Not a treadmill. It's like got these big handle joists or oars or whatever you call them. You stand on the little pedals and you hold on to the handles and you move them, and it's like a ski thing or whatever. I called it the ski machine. And then there's another one. I don't know what the fuck the point of it was. It was like this really heavy chair with weights. I think weights were attached to it. It's like this really heavy chair. You sit on the chair and then you try to like turn the seat. I have no clue how that was supposed to fucking help you get into shape. I've never seen either of those workout machines in any fucking public gym ever. I've never seen anybody use those. And I think the brand was called Fit by Tony or Built by Tony or something like that. You could Google it and probably find it. If you do, would you put it here in the comments, anybody, if you remember that? I think I saw my mom try to use the chair one, and she's not big on fitness. She's lost a lot of weight, and that's from her being sick, not from, oh, I'm joining a gym and I'm changing up my diet. No. And the same thing last time my dad lost a lot of weight, he was depressed, which I also consider being sick because it's mental illness. So the last time either of them lost weight was when they were both sick. I wonder if the black one was called a Bowflex. But then Bowflex wasn't by that Tony guy. I don't think. Those got sold. Like, I remember us hanging on to them for years and years. I was like, oh, nobody uses them. And I got more enjoyment out of what I'm doing right now, which is getting out and about and walking, than using some fucking machine that I don't understand how it works. So yeah. Well, there's a home for sale. Oh, I'm surprised nobody's bought it and flipped it already, or developers haven't bought it. At least developers are usually smart enough to restrict their sleazy activities to main streets. I can see them trying to buy all the houses down here because they're facing, like this street here, you could call it a main street because it leads out to the main street. It's not busy. You literally have to wait less than a minute for the traffic because there's no fucking traffic, and then you can go. We'll go this way. We'll go this way. At least developers usually relegate their sleazy antics to busy, booming streets. Like Main Street and Sunset, you saw how busy 5600 was, but that's not really a developer project. That's a UDOT government, presumably government. I didn't realize we had an entire branch of government dedicated to destroying neighborhoods, replacing them with highways, byways, underpasses. They need to build a fucking off-ramp at the source, or all these fucking, because the people that are coming through here is exactly that. They're coming through. They're not living in Roy. They don't live here. But for the past however many years, these UDOT people were taking calculations and surveying and bringing it up with the council. And so, you know, I assume that's what they did before they reached the conclusion. Well, we need to widen the street there on 5600. I would hope and I would assume and hope that they did research before, just to say, you know what, it's very busy. It's always been fucking busy. It's been busy since I have lived here in Utah. It's never not been busy. And again, I will die on this hill. Half the people, majority of those motherfuckers coming through here are coming from Hooper. They're coming from West Point, West Haven, everything and every fucking thing all the way out there. They ain't fucking Roy natives. They don't live here. And it kind of pisses me off that Utah is catering to these fucking people. And what they need to be doing is putting their overpass and their off-ramps and shit all the way back at the source. So they ain't coming and using our fucking street. An entire fucking neighborhood is gone. That whole street of houses, that was a neighborhood. Of memories, of experiences, of everything, gone. So that's an entire street's worth of places for people to live, gone, for this awful, fucking, stupid project that is so dumb. It's not going to minimize the problem. Are they thinking if they just widen it, oh, then there will be less accidents? Okay. Again, they should just put an off-ramp all the way out there in Hooper and West Point, wherever the fuck these assholes are coming from. But they won't. Because they look at here, despite the fact, if they did that and put it to wherever the fuck, where they're going, Clown College, or the zoo, or whatever, well, 5600 is the most populous road right now. The people in UDOT are so fucking retarded. I swear, their solution for everything is let's blow it up and widen the pre-existing street. It's like, what? Because everything I have seen from Sunset to Roy to Clearfield that UDOT has sunken its fucking claws into has basically been, well, let's blow everything up and widen the street. That's their solution. That is their solution. Blow everything up, widen the street. It's too fucking early for me. What did I say? It's early in the morning. I wanted to be in a good mood. Then I go off because I can't leave things unsaid. What is that saying? Better left unsaid. I can't do that. It is impossible for me to do that. I have to speak my piece. I have to say my part. Because I have this nagging sensation, and it comes from being quasi-narcissist. I don't think I'm a full-born narcissist, just only that if I don't impart these words, I think it's more from just being egotistical than being narcissistic, that these people are going to lose out. Doesn't matter if it's friends, family, whatever. If they don't hear what words of wisdom I have to impart, they're going to miss out big time. So I've always been that way. I feel like if I say what I need to say, what I feel like I need to say, it could be anything, that they'll go, oh, you're right. I still feel like that. It doesn't work that way with fucking obstinate people, though. You know, those types of people, they don't want to hear the truth. They don't want to see the truth. You could hold the truth right in front of their fucking faces and they'll downplay and deny it. It's such a nice morning. It's chilly, but it's nice. People are like, why has he got his... This area of town's very redneck. I'm not trying to be mean, it's very rural. Roy is described still as a rural town, city in Weber County. I can't believe that I'm already so hungry. I'm like so fucking hungry. I have no money whatsoever to stop by and get even just a bran muffin or something. I know that sounds totally despicable. Not despicable, but disgusting and unappetizing. And you would be right. That's what we old people. I'm trying to wean myself off of bad things. And I thought this whole time, oh, well, cheese is a healthy snack alternative. Then come to find out it's like high cholesterol and fat. Okay, I guess I can't eat that anymore. Didn't really have milk to begin with, but so that's not really a problem. A nice morning unmolested by stupid people and noise and all that other shit. Someone asked me, they're like, so you are going to try walking into Ogden this time, right? Because last time you tried it at night and you ended up in that fucking Nowheresville. I gave him like the Marla Gibbs, Mary Jenkins on 227 look. Child. I'm not walking all the way into fucking Ogden. if I lived closer to Ogden, even just around here in Roy, if I lived out here, that would be fine. I live so far back out in Roy, I'm pretty much in Sunset. Fucking smell of gasoline. I don't get people who love the smell. Okay, I've known people who love the smell of three things: freshly cut grass, gasoline, and skunk. And I'm not kidding you with the last one. My mom and her friend, maybe it was just her friend, but her friend's trashy. And I think also her ex-friend. I remember being in the car with them and her being like, I can't remember what it was, what brought it up. But her being like, yeah, I really like the aroma or the scent of skunk, however she said it. This was like in the late 90s, early 2000s. And I think me and her son were in the back seat while they're, driving around, running errands, whatever we used to do together. And I remember me and my friend exchanging looks of disgust, like, did she just say she likes the fucking smell of skunk? Yeah, freshly cut grass, fresh lumber, timber, coffee, all normal things. Gasoline is kind of out there because when I smell gasoline, I get freaked the fuck out. I don't get the senses of, oh, that's an erogenous scent, that's an aroma. No, I think something's wrong. There's a gas leak. If I flick even the light switch, the house could fucking blow up. Fortunately, most everything, everywhere I've lived has been electric. I think only one place I've lived was gas. The lady who rented it to me, I live right above her. She was it's like she rented it to me because she knew me for so long. She lied to me. She trusted me. But then she was always reminding me, I have a hard time going to sleep, Jay, because I feel like you're going to blow the house up. And I'm like, what? Jesus Christ. Why the fuck did you rent it to me if you thought I was going to be such a dirtbag about it? Of course, it didn't help. They had me move in after I quit. I was still in college. College wasn't over yet that semester. But I had left my shitty telemarketing job. I was like 19. Yeah, I was 19 and I lived on my fucking own. Wasn't really responsible because I didn't have a backup job. Though that job was killing me. Actually, because the thing is, and people say, don't go into business with friends or family. They use that. They extend it to being also like, don't come to them for help, which I would rather just say don't take advantage of people's generosity or their good nature. There's Antelope Island down there. I would just say don't take advantage of people's hospitality. Gotta tie my shoelace. Damn shoe keeps coming undone. So I'm standing there tying it with my leg up like some fucking hooker trying to get a lift. Well, that's a really nice door. It's gorgeous. I'd have asked them if they're selling it. I could buy it. It's probably worth at least $500. Gorgeous door. I hate it when people just throw out antique stuff like, oh, this is junk. It's like, you can use it. You can modernize it. You can use it as like a back door and get yourself a fucking vaulted fence or a vinyl fence, whatever, like everyone else does, so you don't have to worry about people. It's like so many of these yards I've seen don't have fences. And Roy and Sunset, they have a dog problem where dogs will, because people let their dogs do whatever. That house is a new house. That's like a trailer type house because you can see it's got a raised foundation. You can see the underneath of it. I'm pretty sure it's like a trailer type house, but they made it up to look like a real house. I mean, a trailer house is a house, but you know what I mean? It's not like this house or that one. I can't imagine living in a house without a fucking fence. And it's not that I'm some weirdo who needs to have ultimate privacy because I'm going to walk around naked or something. I don't want, and I don't need, and I don't like the neighborhood mutts going in my yard, taking a dump, coming to my back door and barking and trying to get in. That's happened before. And I hate people's cavalier attitude. Their relaxed, cavalier, indifferent attitude. Like, oh, they're just dogs. And I'm thinking, what is this fucking lunacy? I get it. You like dogs, or you're a dog person. You might not really be, because at the end of the day, you relegate them to chewing on a bone, licking their own ass, and sleeping outside. So that doesn't really sound like a dog person to me. I haven't been in this part of town during this time of day with the sun out in ages. It's been like probably over a decade. And you can see Antelope Island. Oh my god, it's so clear. So nice. I haven't been out here this time of day in this part of town in like probably over a decade. I had a group I was in back when I lived closer by. I used to live, I'm trying to remember what the streets, because we don't have street names here. It's all numbers. Until you go to like, Clearfield has some places like Valhalla Drive. And then Ogden has like Washington and Adams and whatever. But most streets here are just fucking numbers. So, we used to live in those apartments kind of behind, near Burger Bar, but more closer to like McDonald's and KFC and all that. So that was closer. And I had a group I would meet with like a couple weekends a month. In the wintertime, I think it was only one weekend, if even that, because it was cold. And a lot of people, because we would meet at the complex, but in the months like this, spring and summer, we would meet like every other weekend or 2 weekends a month out here. And there are 2 people I met who lived nearby. Actually, I think her name was Jen or Jan. She lived in Riverdale, I think, and then the guy lived kind of near where I did. Kind of near the cemetery, I think. Or just over the tracks there by the cemetery. And sometimes we would meet. Sometimes they would pick me up, or sometimes I would just walk. It was incentive for me to just walk because it kept me in shape. But the group was kind of like a support group. It wasn't like AA, but it was basically like for people. It was for all kinds of people. It was to get people motivated. And it was really great because the methods were kind of dated. And the guy who ran it looked kind of like the dad from Mork and Mindy. Mindy's dad. He kind of looked like that. But, we would meet out here because this is a huge park. This is a big park. This was the Roy Fun Days. At least 1 or 2 times that I remember. I think now it's back at the normal park by the library. Because that's easier for me to get out there than it is out here to West Park. But I would leave early enough. Sometimes I would be the first one there. He would always say, "You woke up with extra gusto today." But we would do, walking exercises. But it was like all sorts of things. It wasn't just like some PE thing. Because we also did computer stuff. Like if we weren't meeting in person, we would meet online. Because I think they also have like an IRC chat thing that they give you a username and password to log into to use, which I would have since lost it. Otherwise I'd be like, hey, are you still meeting up? That was over a decade ago. It was 2011. So I was like, what the fuck is he doing? Like looking for trouble. But we would meet out here. Or actually, no, we would meet closer to the parking area. So further out there. You can't park anywhere along here. You have to go further. I always thought this little niche part of town was interesting. There's really nothing to do. Unless you live here and you're like, are you going to go to the park all day, every day? As a kid, okay. We don't have school. I imagine even that would get old fast. As an adult, you need to have a job. So, I remember wintertime we did a lot of the computer stuff. And I think his real job outside, because this was just like a free, like a support group thing, like a club. I think his actual career was like, I think he was like a counselor of some sort, or rehab caseworker. So he was really, and he caught like a lot of habits. Of course, I wanted to fix them. So I was on it. I told him I don't have a hard time getting out of bed anymore. I have a hard time going to sleep. So I told him, Because back then I would just roll over, go back to bed. I would make up excuses. I would get cold feet with a new job. And it's worse with a new job than it is with school for me. If you're like, well, at work you're getting paid. Yeah, but work is not fun. And I always tell people that. If it was fun, they wouldn't call it work. It would be called fun. I'm going to fun today from 8 to 4, 8 to 6, 10 to 6. Those are my hours for a long time. Everywhere I worked, I was 10 a.m. to 6 p.m. My parents fucking hated it. My mom hated it. And my dad hated it by extension because she would send him to get me, so he'd be pissed. And I'm like, okay. And I was a minor. I was 16. So I had to be out of there. So technically, because minors can only work, I think 4 or 5 hours. So it was more like 2 to 6. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Yeah, like 2 to 6. 2 to 6 or 3 to 6. But that was the range of hours I'd be working. And I liked doing the 10 p.m. or 10 a.m. because I'd be out and have the whole rest of the day to do what I wanted. My mom only said, she said her only complaint was working however late on weekday nights, which were school nights. And because I hated that job, it was at Media Play, and it was just it was only temporary. I did not want to stay on there working. It was just until Christmas was over. It was extra Christmas money for me. And I let them know. I said, because I need to be going, I'm, going to be going back to school and I have other stuff full time, which was a lie. I mean, yeah, I was going to school full time, but because I was in high school, but I wasn't, I had no extracurriculars at school. I tell you, my 11th grade year, I was in 5 or 6 club photos for the yearbook. I didn't attend any other fucking meetings. Anime club, I was going to do it. Then they call themselves otaku. And I just remember, even from an early age, otaku was associated with negativity. And I'm just saying, stupid fucking American weeaboo people don't know the fucking connotation in Japanese. Say, oh, we're otaku. I remember the fucking advisor of the teacher was dressed up like fucking Mickey Mouse. Like, he's not an anime person. I thought I just heard somebody's voice. Yeah, like Wizard Mickey. Wizard Mickey is not a fucking anime character. And one of the persons I knew who was in the group I talked to frequently, and I'd ask, what are you guys doing? Blah, blah. Because I want to go home when school's out, and all these clubs, if it was before school, that wouldn't be a problem. Because I could get up early enough, ride the bus out to school, and we're even at school for like almost an hour before it starts anyway. On the school bus, the normal bus, where you have time to do stuff. But of course, teacher's like, I don't want to have to be there that early. Yeah, I mean, a lot of the movies I was watching sounded stupid. It was like all the popular I just tripped and fell on a fucking loose cobble or whatever. It was like all the movies they would watch were the popular, like Princess Mononoke. I still have never seen that. I have not really an interest in seeing it. It was like all the Studio Ghibli, like, the Japanese Walt Disney. I guess they had to be careful because it's like, oh, this is too raunchy. You know, because again, in like America, violence is fine. Sexuality is not fine. Even if you know the context and it's explained to you. So, and I also think one of my friends might have been my Japanese friend Jen before she moved. Because I think she moved around the time I entered high school or just before that. But we communicated through phone and email. And I think she even said, oh, if it's in high school, they're only going to be showing the watered down shit. Like really bad Kmart dub stuff that removes all the action, that waters down the action sequences, tones down the violence. I just remember being like, fuck that. I could watch that stuff for free anyway at home on cable TV that my parents pay for, because it showed all that type of stuff anyway. It was all the watered down things. Are their bathrooms still closed because the perverts keep... I imagine this will probably get torn down. It's like they think people want to use porta potties instead of actual toilets. Porta potties are disgusting. I refuse to use a porta toilet. I think at this point, I would rather defecate myself and let the piss and shit run down the back of my knees and collect into my shoe than to resort to using a porta toilet. Those are so fucking filthy. And these public bathrooms are gross. Don't get me wrong, they're gross. I've already gotten such a workout. Oh my god. No hitting into fence. Yeah, if you're trying to play practice ball, don't hit it into the fence. Or the Roy cop will come out and fine you after he molests you. I remember that ramp being there from last time. I just wonder who makes use of that. That's like literally all Farmville fucking wilderness shit out there. Someone's discarded sock. Oh, I'm sure along the way we'll find shoes, jeans, underwear. Wouldn't mind finding a discarded Rolex watch though. See, like there's people, it's not like some completely secluded, isolated getaway where you can just come here and, you know, it's a nudist colony. I'm so grateful and happy and lucky to this day. I've never stumbled upon a corpse, like a body of someone, especially a kid, because I would lose it. I'd fucking lose it. Like, I skip, turn around. You see sometimes shoes on a telephone pole, wire. I've heard the rumor that that's supposed to mean somebody was killed there, like in a gang-related thing, or they were just killed. I mean, to me, it seems far-fetched. Why would you... Presumably the quickest, most effective method is using a gun. People are probably going to hear it unless you planned it. and had a silencer, why would you then proceed to hang around, take off the victim's shoes, swing them, and throw them up onto the telephone wire? To me, it doesn't make any sense to me. I've heard other rumors that it means it's a location where drug deals go down. So people see them, the dealers see them, the buyers see it, and go, oh, okay, this is a cool area to do. Oh my God. I feel my lungs feel so... It feels like I have too much carbon in my lungs. That makes sense. Like it's kind of like a burny feeling. See, I'm just walking and I'm getting a fucking workout. I'm not running, I'm not jogging, I'm not lifting weights. I'm just walking and I'm like, ugh. That's how much of an obese slob I am. And people are like, oh, so did you want to come to my Curves +1 join up today? I'm like, no. And there's 2 reasons for that. Is that a pig? Is that a pig or an aardvark? Are you a pig? Are you a pig? Oh, you are a pig. I made that noise. He looks at me. That's a pig. That's a cute pig. Look at that little like earthen. That earthen. There. It looks like a dungeon from Daggerfall. You've arrived at your destination. It's like some little, and a lot of dungeons in Daggerfall look like that. They're little like earthen cellar things, like root cellars, but it's like this big expansive catacombs. That's kind of cool. Look at those horses. Very nice horses. Very nice. Those are pigeons. Those are pigeons. Why in the fuck they got pigeons in a rook for, in a rookery? Look at that big tall horse back there. Maybe those pigeons are like a messenger. Maybe they train them to like send messages or something. I don't know. They ain't chicken. Chickens don't make those cooing noises. Big K. Look, Smiths, it's an advertisement for your cola. Big K. The person who lived there spray painted it so that their spouse or roommate or whoever would see it. Oh, we need to get more Big K before I come home. That soda is really fucking hit or miss. Big K. Sometimes it's good, and other times it's like flat. I don't really want to walk all the way down here. I mean, a while ago, the Lucky China, which was like my favorite Chinese restaurant years ago. My mom took me here for lunch years ago, and they had the best pot sticker dumplings I've ever had. And somebody's bought the building, I don't know who. Probably be another Mexican restaurant. And they started already pulling out the old furniture. That's like about 30 years almost of memories. they actually intentionally went and they busted that out. Or it might have gotten broken when they were yanking them out of the wall. If they weren't all in such shit, terrible condition, I would have taken one. Like maybe one of the normal seats like this or something. Wouldn't that be funny? Have like this one here is normal enough. You just get one of the seats over there and put it on it. But that would be heavy to take that. I'm trying to push it and I can't even push it because that's how heavy it is. But yeah, Lucky China's no more. It's been that way for almost 2 years now. And last time I ate there was 2022, I think. Early 2022. It might have been 2021 was the last time. And somebody owns the building now. That's why all this stuff is torn out. So sad. Very sad. Just out of curiosity. Those were the chairs that they had at some of the tables. You could get a table and sit there. And these were... I wonder if they're going to demolish the building. Or maybe they're just gutting it because they're going to completely remodel the inside. I hope it's not a fucking pawn shop or a fly-by-night church. If it's a Mexican place, at least it's another place you can eat at. Not some fucking fly-by-night church. Or a pawn shop. Okay. I just wanted to film that little tidbit because it's a piece of Roy, it's a piece of history that's no longer going to be here. It's going, I mean, the building itself might be there, but it won't be Lucky China anymore. It'll be completely different. I mean, I don't know if they are going to demolish it and they're just pulling this stuff out to make it easier, or if they're just going to remodel the inside. I mean, literally, it could be literally anything. That's funny. I had a stalker moment today when I was walking back from Nunskull. I traded a game out from a PS4 to an Xbox One version. And this dude, as I was leaving, the Harmon's parking lot, this dude came out of nowhere from where those abandoned the strip mall is that used to have dilly-dallies and that. Just, and he stood out because he's carrying an umbrella. And I guess, I didn't realize this, but I thought he was going to turn and go a different way, but we ended up both kind of walking the same way. And I guess he probably thought I was like a stalker or something. And I'm just trying to get to across the street, and he turns around like, is this guy stalking me? I just go, hi. What the fuck else am I gonna do? I need to go home too. But he's carrying, I don't know if he pulled it out when he thought I was following him, or if he always had it. He had a big tool in his hand, other free hand, I don't know what it was. Some kind of, looked almost like a pair of tongs or a big plumbing tool. Almost like a wrench, a big, I'm thinking, why in the fuck Do you need to walk around carrying a fucking wrench? Because I get it, now I look like a fat old stalker pervert person. I mean, I'm not. But I mean, we both went to the same bus stop. I mean, the same cross light, because that's, I mean, but he was turning that way and I had to go straight ahead. So clearly I'm not stalking you. But that was an awkward, funny / awkward situation. Oh, this fat, ugly old guy is following me. Oh. See, now I know how it feels, because when I was a young twink, I don't think he's that young, but still a twink probably, but when I was young, I was like, oh my god. Oh. I just thought I would share that. I thought that was funny. No, sweetie, if I was stalking you to abduct you, I would, at that moment, I would have asked you if you're interested in a free rose, have you smell it, then gas would come out, you'd get knocked out, then you'd wake up all tied up in the basement of an abandoned farmhouse in Clinton. That's where all of my twinks are at. The cat's out of the bag. Can you imagine? That farmhouse does look like it could be, you know, I was gonna say it looks like it could be a rapist or a serial killer hideout. I don't even think those people, and I'm not trying to say anything positive about, you know, kidnappers, rapists, murderers, because they're awful, but I'm just saying, I don't even think those people, I don't even think their standards are low enough to fucking hide out in a piece of shit, falling apart place like that. I mean, you know, I'm truly obsessed with it, because every other topic it always circles back to that poor tragic farmhouse. And it is a tragedy. The local kids in the area went and trashed it and stole the copper and smashed everything. I mean, now it's only host to, like, see, I knew homeless people won't stay there because even they have standards. I think they'd rather live under the underpass, which relates to a video that's been put up on my channel that you should go and watch. You should watch that video, because this is filmed right now in this time, way after that video, but being uploaded a bit after that video. So if you're seeing this is going to be in a compilation vid. Like later on I might go somewhere else and film or whatever. But earlier in this video, because this is a day and night video, but that was in Layton and this is in Roy, I talked about my cousin Zaren's story he told me well over 20 years ago now when he was in high school. I think he was a sophomore? He was a sophomore or a junior? Because I think he graduated in 2007. I think he was 18 when he graduated. 2003, 2004, I think. So maybe ninth grade is freshman year, high school. But here in Utah, ninth grade isn't physically in the high school. It's in middle school. which I think is fucking stupid. Guy over there digging at like midnight. Anyway, this is supposed to be where that new thrift store is over here. American Housekeeping. That used to be actually Mary Maids, and it became American Housekeeping. Oh, here we go. So Saturday they're open from 9 a.m. to 2 p.m. Monday through Friday, 9 a.m. to 6 p.m. And of course they're closed Sunday. So we just missed them. Roy Center Plaza. I bet half these places aren't even there anymore. Back on that story I was saying. I forget because I'm so scatterbrained. As I said, this is like 20 years ago, like 2002, like 2003, 2004. This guy has with him on the way to meet his friend. Now, where he met his friend, he didn't meet him at the swim. This little area there, the vicinity that was like this little wooded area, but it wasn't like big, huge space. It was just like be as big as this area here. Like it's a finite space. Like you start walking here and you would come out the end in less than a minute. It was literally just like a small fucking wooded space nobody knew what to do with, you know. I mean, it's small enough you could put like a drive-through coffee place there or something, or a 24-hour photo developing place. And the thing of it was, he insisted on waiting there because they would wait there before. His friend Scott, not his real name, so I can't remember what his name is. His friend Scott was like, hey, don't wait. Shouldn't be waiting there because it's a hookup place or it's a meetup place for sex addicts or prostitutes or whatever. And Zara, my cousin, he was just like, no way. You know, he's like, okay, now I have to go. So he goes there. But before, like, he actually reaches it, like, say, I'm walking here and someone's coming towards me from, you know, up ahead. He crosses paths, and I already said this, so I'm going to do a complete retelling of it. This, like, shaved or bald head guy who was like in his late 20s or early 30s. I think they said hi, and that was basically it, if anything. So nothing comes of that. So he reaches the little like wooded area, which is not really like a forest. There's like some trees, basically a field with a few trees. And he's waiting and waiting. After a bit, he hears this sound. Like if you take a sucker, like a suction cup, like on one of those toys you hang on a window, like in your car, or a sucker dart that just sticks to things. Like that plopping sound, like when you are pulling it off of the window and then putting it back on. He didn't know that's what that, you know, he was like trying to figure it out. He's hearing this noise. And at first he thought it was like an animal, like a cat, or like a weird, like a raccoon, because we do get raccoons out here. He was like, well, maybe it's someone's car, because it doesn't sound like any animal that he'd ever heard of. So he hears the noise a bit more, and then it kind of abruptly stops. And he's like, oh, I guess maybe it was someone's car, and then they, you know, whatever. And so he's like, you know, maybe a minute later, he's standing there, because it's like, okay, I haven't seen anything. He said he was about to walk over to the surf and swim and just be like, hey, you know, because they had cell phones. This was before cell phones were major, but 2003, 2004, my cousin's, his mom was insistent he have a cell phone. And his friend also had a cell phone. He was about to leave this old fucking guy who's like, looked like a hillbilly or a bum. Had to be in his 50s or 60s. Had a beard, gray, wiry hair. Comes stepping out of that little copse, that little wooded area. And he acts like he's out of breath, like he's been hiking and he's exhausted. Then he turns and notices Zarin. He's very polite. Zarin described him to be very polite, very well-spoken, despite his appearance, his disheveled and homeless appearance. He was very polite and very intelligent sounding. And it's, very formal. Oh, hello, young man. Do you, by chance, have, a smoke or whatever? He asked him. And Zarin was, oh, sorry, but I don't smoke. I don't carry that on me either. And then he was like, the guy went on to be like, oh, that's good. You shouldn't smoke. And I wasn't always like this, asking people for cigarettes, but blah, blah, blah. It's a dirty habit. Like, he was just going on, not really lecturing him because Zarin didn't feel like he was being yelled at, but just he was like rambling, like how old people do, rambling about, oh, I used to be like you, and then I fell into a bad crowd and we smoked, but we didn't do drugs, we just smoked. And when you smoke, you drink sometimes, and you gamble. So he's like trying to be polite and, actively listen. And again, this guy didn't sound drunk, didn't sound high or crazy. He was just a blabbermouth, a jabberjaw, basically. Listening to this old guy go on and on about, whatever. And he is talking, then he notices the same shaved head or bald head 30s, late 20s guy step a little bit out of like the tree clearing, the copse of trees, and his fucking pants, they were either around his ankles or he wasn't wearing any pants, but he was wearing a long enough shirt where you couldn't see his genitals. And he's like whispering, trying to get the old man's attention. Anyway, guy with his pants down is trying to get the old guy's attention. And you can probably already tell where this is going, but I'm gonna finish it for completionist sake. He's like trying to get his attention, like, psst, 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 like, trying to get him to look. And then because he's just going on and on and on. So he's like, hey, I thought you were just coming out here for a breather. And the old guy turns, oh, I just wanted to see if this young man had a cigarette. And the guy, Zarin says, the shaved head guy goes, well, you're not done yet. So get back in there. He points. He shuffles back into the fucking wooded area. Well, before he does that, when the guy said he noticed, I was seeing if Zarin had a cigarette, the guy looked, and he just, kind of nods, like, oh, hey. And it turns and goes back in, like it's completely normal. Like this thing they're doing is completely fucking normal. And the old guy says, oh, thank you for, blah, blah, blah. And then he bids Zarin adieu and turns and goes in after his John. I guess he was a hooker, a prostitute. And, so, it's just the wildest thing about that to me was Zarin told me they weren't acting suspicious. They weren't acting creepy. It was the whole thing is when he was like, oh, they're having sex or giving blowjobs. That's creepy because it's in public in broad daylight. Because literally the area they're doing it from, like across the street, was like the Surf and Swim or something, or nearby across the street or whatever. Because that little wooded area is gone now. But the creepiest thing to me was like how normal acting he said they were, and how they acted like what they were doing was completely sane and normal, and that you know, like it's as if you were out getting gas at Chevron and you happen to bump into a next door neighbor and you're like, oh, I noticed you planted some new roses. They're very pretty. No, instead of, oh, I'm just, you know, giving this guy a BJ. Oh my god. Oh wow, there's actually fucking water in the pool. There's no way that it's in operation though, because it looks like people were, they're still doing construction, like nothing's been fucking done. I mean, I guess they have done something, because last time I came here and filmed there was no water in here, and now there is. But yeah, so I'm gonna go in and take a dump and I'm gonna film it. No, this is just so trashy. They got rid of their permanent bathroom. Oh, I can't film it because it's got a fucking it's got a fucking padlock on it. No, too many people come out here and hook up and we have to padlock it at night. Our local our fluffer, our crime scene, our porn scene cleanup crew have quit. Instead of hitting the shower, just use that little scummy plastic sink thing in the porta toilet. Splash yourself with some toilet water and call it a day.